doing training. We have been training people from Kenya, from Sudan, from Uganda, from Tanzania, Rwanda, Burundi, and even Congo, and also Nigeria.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the GYGO Show. Today we have Maurice Obuya out of Kenya. He's a principal teacher at Kisumu City Permaculture Academy, and he's CEO of Kajulu Hills Ecovillage, among a bunch of other stuff. He's got a lot going on, so excited to have Maurice on with us today.
My name is Maurice Obuya, and I am the principal of Kisumu City Permaculture Academy. A registered institution that is training people on advanced permaculture design course. That is, we use the original 18 principles of mass generation according to Bill Mollison. And we call ourselves Mollisonian permaculturists because we follow Mollisonian teachings. And then I also coordinate a non-governmental organization, community-based organization called Kajulu Hills Ecovillages. So Kajulu Hills Ecovillages receives grants to promote indigenous seeds distribution across East Africa and also among the refugees, refugee camps. And we also help community members with indigenous seeds. So we give them indigenous seeds and also some vines and plants, and so that they can become sustainable at the household level. So basically, we target household sustainability, through restoration of indigenous ecosystems, because for thousands of years, our ancestors used to live within their indigenous ecosystems. They could get all the foods they want. They could produce all the foods. They could maintain their lives. They did not go to work anywhere. We help to restore indigenous ecosystems, and that is our ultimate goal, to restore the original livelihoods. Yeah,
I saw that video you sent me. It was great. I want to talk a little bit about how you set up systems using edges, what kind of plants you like to grow, fruit trees and support plants, that kind of stuff. And then a little bit into the Indigenous Permaculture Center that you guys, I guess you're done completely rehabbing it, or you're getting close to that. Let's know about that.
Yes, we have about, in our two training centers, we have more than 600 different ecosystems. You can see just behind me here, you can see several ecosystems around me. Now it's a bit dry. So we make small units, we train them and mentor them to start their own ecosystems and also to start their own projects. And currently, we're working on what we call now infrastructure development, because we have been using a lot of we have been using tents, but now we want to make some structures where people can come, like students and scholars can come, and they can get accommodation, which is permanent. Yeah, I'm trying to add up some bundles. I don't.
Right. Awesome. And then, so how's that? Do you guys complete that Indigenous Center? I saw you guys were working on the cob structure and rehabbing the walls. Is all that done?
Our ecosystem, as they watch, to learn as they see that what is they are being taught is really happening. So we use our ecosystems as our main focus of training. That's what we call it now, on-site training, because it is difficult to train people online when they are not, their hands are not in the system to use the real systems to do the training.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then you have a class coming up next month, right? It's the 12th one you guys have done out of that center, right?
Yes, so we usually conduct trainings 3 times a year. That is the month of March, July, and November. So we have an upcoming training. This time we never did it in September. In July, we are going to do it in September, 10th to 10th to 30th September this year. And then we have another one from 3rd to 23rd of November. Yeah, that we use to close the year. So after every 3 months, we usually conduct a training. And for the one for September, it's going to be our 12th training. So we have been doing training. We have been training people from Kenya, from Sudan, from Uganda, from Tanzania, Rwanda, Burundi, and even Congo, and also Nigeria. But we have had a lot of interest from across Africa, like as far as Sierra Leone, Niger, South Africa, Zambia, Zimbabwe. But the biggest challenge that people are facing, most of Africans with conscious, is that they don't have access to funds to support them to come for the training. Because we used to have 10 days, now it is 20 days. We have added natural building. So our biggest request is that if you can get partners who are willing to support indigenous Africans to access this education, and then we help them to start their own projects and they become sustainable. And then that is going to be a very big contribution to the world. And because we focus on food security, that is safe food, which is not produced by chemicals. And we also focus on environmental restoration, because we integrate trees and fruits and plants using different layers. Yeah. So we also help in mitigating climate change. And now we're also promoting what we call natural building, using locally available materials like and waste also. Yeah. So we encourage building using all types of materials. Like we have recycled panels, we have off-cut timber, we have mud houses, we have natural rock houses integrated on rocks. So we try to encourage people that you don't have just to build a conventional house. Yeah, you can use any material that you have, and then you create a good environment that you can get your food. You can also harvest your water. We mainly depend 100% on rainwater harvesting. Yeah, we don't have grid water. We don't depend on grid water in all our systems. Yeah, and we design them to harvest their own water and store and use it. Yeah, so we are looking forward to get more partners that can help us to create a more sustainable world. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, the rainfall, you guys don't have a lot of rainfall, so I guess rainwater capture is pretty imperative for setting these systems up, I would guess, right?
Yeah, we have some little rain, but when it is captured well and stored, we can use it for some good amount of time.
Great.
And we also use some shallow wells also.
Okay. Yeah. And then what are the kind of the rock star or the really, really good crops that you would grow, in the shrub layer, tree layers to get a lot of calories for the people that are growing? Just want to know what you're growing there. I think it's similar to what I can grow here and what Brandon can grow in Costa Rica. I'm just curious for my own personal knowledge.
Yeah, actually, I will start with my primary crops, and then we have secondary and tertiary, and also supportive plants. So the primary crops I have a lot of banana plantations. Banana plantations. I have pineapple plantations, and I also have mango plantations. Yeah, I have mulberries, and I also have. Can talk about hundreds of thousands of different trees like albizia, like gravelia. Yeah, like I'll just trying to make some doors and whatever, and door frames and panel doors. So I've just harvested a lot of timber from my ecosystem, so I store them here. Yeah,
right.
This is that I'm going to now. I've just harvested from within my ecosystem, so I'm going to use them to make my doors. This is what about sustainability is all about, and self-sufficiency. So I harvest on mature trees, and then I produce timber to make my own furniture and to make my own the items that I need. And this is just a stuff for cows from the maize that we harvest. So the other thing that we do is that we do what we call annual biodiversified farming. So we produce a lot of groundnuts, indigenous, produce a lot of different types of maize. Yeah, produce different types of maize, and also different types of beans, different varieties of beans. Yeah, and we don't buy seeds at Agrovet. We make our own seeds, and we also distribute the same seeds to the community. We also produce a lot of We have also planted a lot of these indigenous vegetables, which also help to distribute them across the different communities. Yeah. And from our annual biodiversified farming, we are able to get enough seeds for our seed bank. Yeah. We have a seed bank. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The seed is just here. Indigenous Seeds Bank. Yeah. Just here. And then we also have a granary. This is a seed bank. Then we also have a granary somewhere there behind, where now we keep the cereals and we store them using indigenous methods of storage. We don't use the chemicals, like we use ash that we get from the bean stalks and the maize cobs. So we make ash from the maize cobs and bean stalk, and they help us to preserve our seeds naturally in our granary and cereals.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. You got any questions there, Brandon?
Yeah, Maurice, I'm just curious, kind of, even if you roll back a little bit before you got this, project underway, and if you just imagine, like, when you were young, what is it that guided you through this path? How did you get interested in this sort of way of living?
Yeah. Okay. I think I can reflect back to when I was 6 years old, and I was going to celebrate my birthday. And my dad used to buy some small round sweets. Yeah, they were called patco. So some of them were yellow, others were white. So I just wondered. I had celebrated a few birthdays, so every year I used to buy them and treetop, some juice called treetop. So I was wondering, why should my father keep on buying these sweets every year? So I just planted the sweets, and I said, my next birthday, I should be harvesting them, so my father will not have to buy them. Yeah. I kept on watering them, and they never. Maybe not, I don't know. Yeah. So I kept on watering them, but they never grew. And then my father used to like forestry. He used to plant trees. And then I also started planting trees. I have another ecosystem for coconuts in my home, another home in Kilifi, near the coast. Coconuts, and oranges, and also these are called moringas, and a few other crops. Yeah.
Nice.
Level. So I developed that interest of planting. I used to have a lot of passion in planting, and I used to I have a lot of passion in nature. Yeah, just looking at nature, nurturing nature, bringing up life. Yeah. So now at some point in time, I bought a greenhouse, and that was in 2010. And then I realized that things were not connecting. So in 2013, I came across this guy called a Chinese man who was doing natural farming. Then from him, I came through Bill Mollison. He was doing online courses. So I enrolled for permaculture course because I like anything to do with nature, how nature can nature itself. Yeah. So I used to have that drive. So when I came out, I did the regenerative leadership course online. Then I realized that these things will connect. Yeah. How to connect different natural forces, and then you make an ecosystem, and then the ecosystem starts producing, then it becomes resilient. So when I went through the regenerative leadership with Bill Mollison online in 2013, then I realized that actually there is a lot of sense in everything that they were saying, and it was real. And then I went through another permaculture course in another institution in 2015. I never learned much because they are teaching 12 principles which are not connecting. And then I came across this Brett Pritchard. Brett Pritchard was one of the assistants to Bill Mollison. Then he helped me understand now the original 18 principles. Then by 2019, I started doing the trainings because my system was now mature. So from 2019 to date, I've been doing a lot of trainings. I've trained more than 500 people. I've also did orientation to more than 3,000 community members. Yeah. And I'm still moving on and on and on. And through this, my advert for training, I create a lot of awareness. That's why I have a network of more than 300 people for inquiries. Yeah. Then I have another network of 200 practitioners on WhatsApp. Then I have another network on Telegram, Permaculture Africa, which have more than 300 people from across Africa. So I'm doing advocacy, but my focus is that come and get the knowledge. If you cannot access the knowledge, then I also have free introductory tutorials on my YouTube channel, which has around 400 subscribers. Maybe you can help me to promote that so that you can get more subscribers. Maybe I can get an income from that. Yeah. And that then from then I was working with a USAID agency from 2010 to 2018. Then I resigned on 31st of March 2018 to come to start my own permaculture project, because I realized that was not regenerative. So I could it was just a monthly cycle. You earn your salary, then you start another month, you earn your salary, then I felt this one was not very way efficient way I could use my time. So I bit the bullet and I started my program. So till today, I've never been employed. Yeah. So I've just been depending on some friends and well-wishers and some small donations here and there, and also produce for myself. Yeah. And try to make my life more sustainable.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Anything else you want to bring up, Maurice, before we start plugging all the ways people can get linked up with you? And we'll certainly follow up with you and put everything in the description so we can get some more eyes on your YouTube and all that.
I think I can say that apart from the natural building and regenerative principles of permaculture that we teach, we also teach what is called organizational and project development. Yeah. So we train people how to profile their projects once they have been trained. Yeah. How to get registered organizations and how to link them to some grants they can be able to apply. Some of them have gotten grants after our mentorship. And currently we are working with about 8 organizations across Kenya, and also a few in Tanzania and some in Uganda, and a few also in DRC, which are mentoring directly, and also one in Nigeria. So we have remote mentorship networks where now people can exchange and get peer support from those remote mentorship networks, and also on-site networks. When we have some resources, maybe that's apart from getting scholarships for those ones who can afford, maybe we can also have resources for mentorship. I did a tour in a few months' time across Kenya and Uganda to mentor some of the people that we had trained, and that one becomes very efficient and effective and links many people together.
Brilliant.
Okay. How can people get a hold of you besides your YouTube channel? It's best just to link up with you on Facebook to get linked in for the class coming up next month. Just kind of give us some guidance there and point people in the right direction.
Yeah, currently for the class that next month, we have just made an advert, but we have not had people registered, but the people who are ready, you can be able to get some scholarship. They can be able to access the training. We can be able to do a selection, and then they can be able to access the training. Last year we got scholarships for 30 people for the first for the middle year training July, and then 10 people for November. And those people whom we selected are doing very well.
Good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, thanks for all that work you're doing, Maurice. That's great.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And I'm really looking forward to hearing from you people. I am very active on Instagram. I'm very active on Facebook. I have several groups and pages. I'm also active on LinkedIn. I'm active on Telegram, and very little active on Twitter. Yeah.
Okay.
So
yeah.
Media campaign, and also my YouTube channel is very active. I have about 136 videos, which you can be able to promote. Some of them are produced professionally, others I just produce by myself.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. Yeah. Have a good rest of your evening, and we'll talk soon, okay?
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks, Maurice.
Thank you so much.